fresh new season for the Wolverines, and hopes are very high in Orem. But a familiar foe is in town looking to crash the party. It's the reigning Big West champs UC Davis versus Utah Valley next on UVU TV.
Oh, hey, you got one of those insurance apps too? You know how this thing works?
No, sorry. Not an app, it's my agent.
In this moment,
No, I'm fine, thanks.
it's good to know you have a trusted, independent auto owner's insurance agent who's there when you need them.
Great.
Man, I gotta get one of those.
Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people.
Neil Dastrup Insurance, your local independent auto owners insurance agency, supports UVU athletics.
There is so much to celebrate in life, from the smallest of hands to the victories of youth, and precious occasions with family and friends, sharing unforgettable moments. Continue accomplishing your goals and celebrate success at Utah Valley University. Apply by August 1st for fall semester.
This copyrighted telecast of the Western Athletic Conference may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the WAC Digital Network.
All right, everybody, welcome to a Saturday matinee special of UVU men's basketball. UC Davis, the Aggies are in town from the Big West against the Utah Valley University Wolverines. It's good to be back. Well, thank you for joining us here on UVU TV. Brandon Crow alongside Holton Hunsaker. And so far, it's been a whirlwind opening for the Utah Valley Wolverines team. If you haven't been around the news anywhere, the toughest 24 where they took on Kentucky and Duke, both in Lexington and in Cameron Indoor Stadium. They fell 0-2, but they had a great bounce-back win on Tuesday against Idaho State, and now here we are.
Yeah, and even the two games that they played, the one in Kentucky, they were up by 9 at halftime and played it to I believe, a 9-point ball game in Kentucky against what was at the time the number 4 ranked team in the country, and then went into Duke and really put, Duke in a little bit of a frenzy that first 10 minutes. And so not only was it a great win on last night or a couple nights ago against Idaho State, but a great performance by the Wolverines in Kentucky and at Duke.
There's a lot of key players and a lot of things to focus on. There's a lot of hype around a lot of the players on this team. Some of the seniors, especially Akolda Manyang, he is going to be one to watch not only tonight but throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah, and, especially at the Kentucky level, right? He did have a double-double against Kentucky, had another excellent game against Duke, and then against Idaho State, obviously enforced his dominance with his size and activity. But then also on the perimeter was Jake Toulson.
Absolutely.
Jake shot over 80% from the field against Idaho State, had a career high with 27 points, and so that combo is pretty tough to deal with.
And on the other side of the ball for UC Davis, they are no stranger to the spotlight. Again, they won an NCAA tournament game last year and put up a big fight against Kansas. And here are two of their number 1 and number 2 punches, if you will. Chima Monarchy and TJ Shorts.
Yeah, with Chima Monarchy, he's picked to be the player of the year again in their league in the Big West. Was the player of the year last year. And whenever you have your best player coming back, that obviously gives everybody else confidence on your team. And then TJ Shorts, he has a knack for getting to the rim, gets to the free throw line really well, and is averaging over 2 steals per game. And so Brandon Randolph and Ben Naquassa for UVU are going to have to definitely protect the ball and take care of it against his pressure.
Well, the lights are turning off. That means our time here is running short, but there are keys to the game for both of these teams. Let's take a look real quick at the keys to the game for Utah Valley. Push, push, push. And inside-out play. What can you tell me about those, Holton?
Well, the inside-out play is going to lead to the ability to push. We mentioned, Manyang's size and activity. That leads to quick outlet passes off of missed shots and then gives them the chance to get easy baskets in transition. And then inside-out play, we're going to have a fun game with, again, Monarchy and Manyang kind of battling out down low.
And on the opposite side for UC Davis, they're going to try and play their sound game of basketball. But the tip-off will be coming up next right here on UVU TV. UC Davis, Utah Valley. Don't go anywhere, folks.
Get on your feet as we welcome the starting lineup.
Welcome back to the UCCU Center, where this place is still piling in. The students are out in full force. Utah Valley again set to take on the UC Davis Aggies. For those of you who are not familiar with UC Davis, they come from the Big West, and they won the conference last year, which earned them an NCAA playoff berth. They actually were one of the 4 play-in teams. They won that game and put up a tough fight in the first round and eventually lost to Kansas, but they're no pushover.
Yeah, exactly. Anytime you win, even though we say it's just a play-in game, they still made it to the NCAA tournament.
Exactly.
And to actually win a game on that level and that level of spotlight and have your core group coming back from that game and that experience, the Wolverines are going to have their handful with a very confident UC Davis group.
Well, as you can see, the student section, the den is what they call them here on campus. It's out in full force. There were some tents last night. It snowed last night. Students still didn't care, and they camped out in their tents to be here for this game, which is a tribute to what Coach Pope and his staff are trying to do with this atmosphere here.
Right, exactly. And as we mentioned, the toughest 24 getting ready for postseason play. This is a team that won in postseason play at the highest and biggest level. So again, a good test for Coach Pope's team tonight.
Good and Mannion with the tip, and Schneider comes away with it for the Aggies. The UC Davis Aggies are in there visiting white with gold, they're blue with gold trim, and Utah Valley is in their home all whites with the green trim. Monarchy, nice turnaround fade, gets it going with a silky touch.
Yeah, that's just confidence right there. As soon as he saw Mannion, he didn't cower at all and just went right to his go-to fadeaway shot. And the shot as if Mannion wasn't even there.
Now Utah Valley trying to respond quickly. Further hometown crowd. Jake Toulson quickly with an opening.
Jake had again a terrific game against Idaho State, where he shot 80% from the field, 100%, 2 of 2 from the three-point line. So hopefully he can keep that going.
Everything will be going through. Monarchy down low and good. Tries to get that right hand flick. Cannot, and here comes Brandon Randolph and company. Connor Toulson. Screen from Mannion. Now the cross-court pass. Connor Toulson pulls the trigger. People get going early. That's a good sign for Utah Valley.
That is a big shot. He stretches the defense and just adds an additional threat beyond what Jake and Mannion have done so far this season.
Shorts, the guard. Now Schneider, very deadly weapon in his own right. Misses that up and under. Mannion gobbles up the rebound. Another high post screen from Mannion. Brandon Randolph elects not to take it. Mannion calling for it, posting up on good. Shorts trying to get in the mix. And I believe they're going to call a foul on TJ Shorts, or the ball out of bounds.
I think they're going to call this one just out of bounds there. And again, that may have looked like, not the most difficult play by Mannion to kick a couple dribbles outside of that, but so smart not to force anything without that double team.
Randolph puts a shot up as the timer goes off, clanks off the back iron, and here comes Monecki. Shorts. Dishes it off. Foul counts if it goes, does not, and good will go to the line.
Yeah, on that last play here, not sure if we'll get a replay, but, A.K. Mannion is so active down low. As soon as anyone takes a dribble towards the key or the paint, he's looking to block a shot or, contest it in any way, and sometimes that can lead him to be out of position. And he needs someone to come across and pick up his as the first free throw for good goes. But he tried to do both that time. He tried to contest the drive and then get back to his own, and, credit to Good there for getting a piece of his body to draw the foul call.
Good, the pride of River Hills, Wisconsin, the junior. Sinks both free throws. He's averaging about 50% on the season. Utah Valley up early, 5-4. Kenneth Aubie with the drive, baby skyhook, and he gets the kiss off the glass.
What a shot. He made a couple of those against Duke and one against Kentucky, where I was just in awe of his length and athleticism, and he has the ability to do that.
Monecki with the pull-up jumper just inside the three-point line, and he is hitting nothing but the bottom of the net so far.
When you're coming off of 2 career games, sometimes you think he's going to keep it going. He's got to, draw back at least once, and he's not showing any signs of a letdown this game.
Nice cut by Toulson with another dish out, blocked by Schneider. Schneider using his athleticism, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Shorts.
Shorts on that play, just nowhere to go, and Jake doing a good job of just standing his ground, and tough to do with so much activity not to move or do anything, and absolutely was an offensive foul charge as he brought his elbow and upper arms through Jake.
Shorts listed at 5'9", plays more like he's 6'2". Aggies. And another foul down in low this time. They're going to give that one to Good. Like you mentioned before, that post presence between AK and Good so far has been very physical.
Right, Good obviously doesn't have the height nor the length to stay with AK, and so he has to be physical, not let him get tight catches and keep his length out of the game, which is very tough to do, and it's tough to do when the official is standing right there next to you watching every move, and so they can blow their whistle at any time, which happened on that last play.
Manning takes a seat. Isaac Nielsen checks in for him. KO drives, acrobatic attempt, comes up short. Now here comes Shorts. Ooh, almost lost that pivot foot. Monecki. Here comes Utah Valley now. Nice up and under move by Brandon Randolph. Comes up with his own rebound and a fresh opportunity for Utah Valley.
I don't think that one hit the rim, and so we didn't get a reset of the shot clock. We're going to get an offensive foul call here on Isaac Nelson coming across the lane on his post up. I didn't see if he threw an elbow or anything, but again, as we mentioned, the physical play down low before, at any time an official can blow his whistle just because it is so physical.
Well, that will take us to our first official media timeout of the first half. Utah Valley on top by 1, 7-6 here at the UCCU Center.
What is it about the car shopping experience at Murdoch Hyundai that has everyone talking? Maybe it's the safety inspections or the car washes for life. It could be the price match guarantee, or maybe it's just the way you're treated. Come fall in love in Linden, Logan, and Murray at Murdoch Hyundai. Your no regrets dealer.
You're watching UVU TV.
Welcome back to the UCCU Center. Brandon Crow alongside Holton Hunsaker. Thank you for taking the time to be with us on this lovely Saturday afternoon in November. It's a crisp Saturday afternoon, might I add, here in Orem, Utah. Utah Valley inside the UCCU Center taking a quick 7-6 lead after the first about 4.5 minutes or so. Brandon Randolph trying to get things going on the offensive side for Utah Valley, and you have to tip your hat to Coach Jim Less and this Aggie squad for doing their defensive work against Akolda Manning in that first 5-6 minutes. He didn't put up a shot.
Right, exactly, and they're actually only giving up 58 points a game for the first 2 games, and so they obviously have great defensive principles. They're a very tough team, as we see Monecki with an unbelievable, just pure strength shot to get that one up and over Isaac Nelson. But again, UC Davis is tough and scrappy, and obviously saw a lot of success last year, and so they've bought into what Coach Les has brought to their program.
Monecki leading all scorers with 6 points of his own. Brandon Randolph spots off for 3 in the corner. That's a good sign.
Yeah, both him and Connor need to get going to, UC Davis plays such a tight, collapsed defense. Anything to expand that will open it up for the big guys down low.
Schneider with the pull-up tray from the elbow, rattles home.
Yeah, just an easy shot there for Schneider, as there was no show off that ball screen. And I believe it was Connor Toulson who got screened and just was left on his own there.
Jake Toulson with a nice dish to Isaac Nielsen. Couldn't quite get that to fall in. UC Davis with an opportunity to take the lead. Shorts comes off the screen. Right back to Monecki. 10 seconds left. Schneider gets fouled by Connor Toulson away from the ball.
Yeah, again, that foul was probably set up by the last play where Connor did get screened, and so this time Connor, in anticipation, tried to jump the screen early, got out of position, and Schneider, being smart, got into his body, into Connor's body to draw a foul.
Shorts will take a seat, as well as Schneider. And Mooney checks in along with Hennings for UC Davis. And Pintrup as well. Rogers Pintrup, the sophomore from Orange, California, Orange Lutheran High School. He will be the one to take this ball out for Jim Less's crew. Five seconds. Randolph gets the hand on it. UC Davis cannot come up with it. Connor Toulson rattles in and out right in front of the UVU student section.
That's one way to get the crowd involved, as Connor just tight crossover there on the baseline and got, I believe it was Joe Mooney tripped up there, and the crowd would have loved it if he would have thrown that shot in as well. And it is a great turnout here. That entire section now full of UVU students. It's fun to see them out for a 3 o'clock ball game.
Connor Toulson with a nice drive and layup. Some contact, no foul, however. 12-10 Utah Valley. Good ball movement from the Aggies on the opposite end. Mooney to Hennings. Hennings off of Naquasa. He'll drive and dish. Nice defense by Utah Valley. Gives way for an opportunity to increase their lead.
Yeah, defensively, the guards are really being physical with each other on both ends, and the officials not calling too much on the perimeter as we've seen. Akolda Mannion, good hands for the big fella. He's averaging close to 7 assists per game this year. Not bad for your big center. Now we're in an offensive foul call here as this UC Davis lineup a little frustrated with the Wolverines' pressure defensively. Haven't been able to get anything real easy as they were early with Monecki, who just checks into the ball game. And as you mentioned, Manning's ability to pass, again, the game that I was able to watch against Duke, he did it several times. Again, length and athleticism, those interior passes to not only guards, but a few to Isaac Nelson as well. He just keeps terrific vision on his post-up moves. Mannion with a nice sky hook, can't get it to fall. Tipping. What an athletic play by Brandon, just staying around the play, and able to leap up there and tip that one back in.
Now Utah Valley trying to play defense on the other end. Mannion got a hand on it, but so did A.J. John, the man with two names, tips it home for UC Davis. 4-point lead now for Utah Valley. UC Davis slowly chipping away.
Excellent pass by Jonas. Terrific vision to not give up on the play. A lot of times players will look to that next rotation, forget about the roll. Jonas with an excellent pass. There is.
Mannion takes a tumble. Anytime he does, this whole building takes a collective breath.
He is so key to this team, and credit UC Davis for attacking him, because that now picks up Mannion's second foul, which I'm sure will be the last we see of him for the half.
Will you accept the challenge to become?
It doesn't matter your situation in life.
No matter your interest.
Whether your first choice or second chance.
There's a place for you.
Place for you.
Place for you at UVU.
Place to engage,
to rise,
to succeed,
to become.
When I was hired as the new coach at UVU, I knew that if we were going to win games, we'd have to have fans in the seats. I'm not much of a marketing guy, but I have some friends that know a thing or two about it.
All right, Coach. This is all about face-to-face interaction. That was actually pretty good. If this whole basketball thing doesn't work out, you should give me a call.
If you're looking to earn money this summer, stop by the Vantage marketing booth on the concourse during our games or visit choosevantage.com.
UVU head coach Mark Pope using that whiteboard, trying to draw up some plays here for his team in the early minutes of this first half. Utah Valley on top by 6, 18-12, with just a little under 12 minutes to go in this first half. And Utah Valley, they're calling it like the mini tour of champions. They go and play Kentucky, the SEC champs. Then they go and play Duke, the ACC champs. Then they go, and now they're playing UC Davis with the Big West champs, and they're going to play North Dakota State next week, who are the Big Sky champs. So these guys are no pushovers, but it's a great test for Utah Valley, and they're proving every bit of it right now.
Yeah, it's a tough schedule for sure. I mean, every game, there's no gimmies going into their schedule. I mean, we have Eastern Oregon, a non-D1, coming up on Monday, but every Division I game that we're playing, there's no one in the bottom of their conference. Everyone's going to be a challenge, and they're excited to play UVU. After seeing what they did at Kentucky and Duke and kind of the excitement and hype around the program, no one's going to look past them on their schedule. They're not going to catch anyone sleeping or not expecting UVU to be a good team, so everyone's going to give them their best effort.
Henning sinks both free throws for the Aggies. His first free throws of the season, to be exact. And right after that, he gets a tap on the back from head coach Jim Less as TJ Shorts checks back in for the Aggies on defense. Jake Toulson with the drive, draws the contact, and he'll head to the line to shoot two.
Yeah, great attack there by Jake. As we've seen both sides of the ball for UC Davis and for the Wolverines. There hasn't been any easy baskets given up. Everything's been battled, fought. It's been 3 or 4 rotations within their offense, and Jake doing a good job of taking advantage of Schneider, who tried to cheat over top of that ball screen and attacked it to the baseline. Not sure what the officials are talking here. Oh, they're going to call it on the ground, which you see Coach Pope rushing over there to get an explanation from the official, but I thought for sure that was in the act of shooting as Jake was going up for a shot. And the officials are going to put this one out of the play, or in play on the inbounds.
Naquassa now to the inbounds. Jake Toulson gets the foul this time. That one's going to go against number 25, A.J. John. Be the 6th team foul for UC Davis already.
That'll be the 2nd for A.J. John. It's just, another body UC Davis can throw at the size of the Wolverines, and hopefully these free throws going to take the lid off of Jake here for Jake, who's gotten off to a little bit of a slow start after coming off of his career high.
Toulson so far on the year, shooting a perfect percentage. Coming into this game, Jake had mentioned to me before that he is in the best overall shape of his life, not just physically, but mentally, spiritually, everything he said is just, he feels fantastic, and you can see it by his efforts on the court.
Yeah, and just the confidence that he's playing with. Even after that free throw, as we're going to get a jump shot there from Schneider. But even after that free throw, you can kind of see Jake holding his follow through, let everybody know how good he's feeling about his game. And, you know, that's going to obviously pay off throughout the rest of the season.
Toulson comes off of a screen. Isaac Nielsen calling for it down low. Jonas Tavnainen with a drive. Does he get the foul? They're going to call, I believe that's offensive foul.
Yeah, which I think was the right call. He stepped over a little bit late, and the action actually happened after the ball had went in the rim. But obviously with the way collegiate ball is called, the shot will not count, even though it was released before the foul call. But a tough one there to go against Jonas.
They're going to call an offensive foul. This one, I believe, will go against, let's see what the official call is. Colin Russell. Foul will be on Colin Russell for the moving screen violation.
This has been the season I've never seen so many moving screens called. I guess in their scrimmage against, I can't remember who UVU scrimmage, but an official addressed the team and said a point of emphasis is going to be screens, and that's obviously reigned true as I've seen so many moving screens or illegal screens called early this season.
Isaac Nielsen trying to create some space. Good job of defense by the Aggies to defend him away from the rim. Schneider with the quick trigger. After starting pretty hot, Monarchy's been pretty quiet ever since. Kenneth Abbe intercepts. Pull-up jumper, why not? Oh, 3 of them.
Terrific decision by KO right there as no one picked up the ball, and Kenneth Aggies, one of the best shooters on this Wolverine ball club. That's a layup for him.
Shorts with the drive. Call a body foul. That's going to go against Kenneth Aggies. Connor Toulson checks back in for Ben Nikwasa for Utah Valley.
That's pretty difficult right there to have 7 feet right there in front of your face to inbound the ball, as Isaac Nielsen defended the inbounder there on that play.
Monarchy, so strong.
He just doesn't stop going. It was the first attack, then it was the second attack, and then Isaac finally rested for a second. And on that third attack, Monarchy was able to get by him. He's a player you cannot rest against because he just continues to attack you.
Toulson comes off the screen. Going up against Monarchy. Trying to dish it off to Isaac Nielsen. Good defense by the Aggies down low. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Got to get something up quick if you're a Wolverine. Toulson with the spot up 3 in the corner. Clanks off that front iron. And it will go out of bounds off of UC Davis. And a fresh shot clock for Utah Valley.
Brandon Randolph is such an elite rebounder as a point guard, and we're going to get a offensive foul call on Isaac Nielsen. I only saw the tail end of that. I didn't see.
There's another screen.
Another illegal screen, as again, it's been a point of emphasis here. And, you know, defensively, I think what I imagine happened on there, just from the way Isaac kind of fell out of the play, if you see or you think you see an illegal screen coming at you, you want to just hit that full on and kind of take the contact and put the pressure on the official to do what they're emphasizing.
Monarchy, another drive. Offensive foul this time. Isaac Nielsen gets called on the opposite end, and he takes it on this one.
As we're going to see, Jake kind of gets taken on the crossover initially. Isaac seeing the play, didn't even move and got both feet out of that half circle there. Able to draw the foul and help out Jake there on the drive.
Utah Valley up by 5. Have yet to trail so far in the ball game. Brandon Randolph, very difficult shot. Moneke pushes it up to Schneider. Nice pass by Schneider, down low to Moneke. And that's just easy. That's high percentage for him.
Yeah, and it's such an excellent pass down low, down that lane line by Schneider, and then Moneke, the confidence and ability to just take his time and just step back from Jake. Was a little off balance on that shot, but definitely one he can knock down.
Schneider sets up for 3. Schneider, very deadly from that outside.
This has been a game of spurts so far. Each team kind of goes on a 5-6 point spurt, and the other team will switch and go on the run of their own.
Utah Valley on the spurt of not scoring in 2 minutes. Kenneth Auggie might have heard him. Breaks that drought.
The guards, again, it's the second dive cut after a post feed. These guys look for that, not only can make the pass, but are actively making that cut on the perimeter, which is very hard to guard.
Moneke sees Schneider, who's wide open, perfect on the season so far. Misses that for his first miss for 3.
You can kind of see a different pace than what those that may be, this is their first UVU game, and seeing last year, things are working inside out for the Wolverines, and they really slow it down. They use the shot clock now and make the defense guard all 30 seconds as Isaac just point blank missed that one, and once again, we're used to seeing him make.
Isaac Nielsen has struggled to find that stroke so far on the offensive side. Nice drive by the Aggies. Shorts taking the contact, finishing strong.
What a finish by Shorts there. Again, as you mentioned, 5'9", playing 6'2", showed his ability to get up around the rim, and an excellent finish with his left hand.
The junior from Tustin, California. Toulson making him look silly. Utah Valley, Kenneth Auggie, every shot that he's made besides that 3 has been a drive-in layup.
Right, that's his 3rd layup of the ball game, because he just has such a long first step. He gets past guys effortlessly, and then his length around the rim allows him to extend arms, and you think, where did the defender go when he's up and through his shot?
A rainbow bomb from the corner by Michael Onyebalu. And there's a timeout as UC Davis takes the first lead of the game. UC Davis up by 1. We'll be right back with more. It's the UVU cheer squad trying to keep this fuel, this fire going into UVU hometown crowd. Coach Poe trying to drop a play to try and stop Onyebalu, Shorts, and Moneke. Moneke leading all scorers, double digits right now with 10. Followed closely by Schneider with 7. And then on Utah Valley side, Kenneth Auggie leading scorer right now with 9 points. Jake Toulson with 4. Randolph and Connor Toulson with 5 apiece. Akolda Mannion checks back into the game for Utah Valley.
Yeah, and that's something to watch, is Mannion now with playing with 2 fouls, but 5.5 minutes left in this first half. And this first half has just been a battle. Both teams running their offense, 3 or 4 times through on each possession, and defensively, as you can see here, it's packed in, it's tight. Everything's being forced from the perimeter to get Ben Nikwasa just off from the 3-point line.
Schneider. Onyebalu. Shorts. Offensive foul. This one's going to go against Rogers Pintrip. Coach Jim Les going with the smaller, quicker lineup against Utah Valley's bigger offensive set right now, trying to use those guards and their quickness.
It looks like they're going to try to show a little bit of this quickness on the defensive end by pressuring these wings. As before they've been packing it in so tight, not letting the dribble beat them. Now you see Schneider there really defending any entry passes there on their offense.
Connor Toulson, nice defense from Schneider. Connor draws the foul, and he'll go to the line.
Yeah, before we had mentioned Moneke as his ability just to keep going. You see the first attack there by Connor wasn't there, a little hesitation, just kept going at him and felt the body of Schneider. Went up for his shot and was able to get the foul call.
Connor Toulson, Utah Valley's leading scorer last year, so far has struggled to find that form from last year. Averaging about 10 points a game this year. Missed his first free throw of the season. Makes the second. Schneider, nice outlet pass. Another triple opportunity, comes up short. Now Ben Nkwasa taking things on his own. Schneider reaches in and plucks that one away.
What a play by Schneider as they were man down there as Printup took a seat on his way back, backpedaling. Schneider just able to reach in there and get that one from Nkwasa. The three from the corner.
A.J. John. UC Davis now 31-28, less than 4 to go in the first half. Brandon Randolph spots up, trying to bank one from the corner, and he misses.
Yeah, Brandon had knocked one down earlier in the game from that same spot, and it's a shot that Wolverines want him to take. Again, it's just so difficult to find any easy baskets or opening as John, who knocked down the possession before, a little long on his second attempt there.
Utah Valley trying to bring this one back within striking distance. Brandon Randolph caught in the air, gives away to Ben Nkwasa. Nkwasa is Texan for 3.
An excellent drive and kick out by Brandon, who put so much pressure on the defense with his ability to get into the lane, and Ben is going to get picked up with a blocking call here. It's nice to see Ben not hesitating on that last three-point shot. He missed one before. Lots of times guys will hesitate, but it's not a shot Coach Pope wants him to hesitate with.
We're all tied up at 31. We'll be right back with more final minutes of this first half.
We need to answer one question.
Will you accept the challenge to become?
No matter where you are in life, no matter your interests.
From award-winning business
and STEM to performing arts programs, there's a place for you. A place for you.
A place for you at UVU.
A place to engage, to rise,
to succeed,
to become.
I hate math. I can't count how many times I've heard people say that. And as a math teacher, I take it personally. So, while working on my master's at UVU, I developed ways to help kids not hate math. Does engaged learning make a difference? You do the math.
You're watching UVU TV.
The Den out in full force like we mentioned before last night, camping out intense, braving the snow to be here for this home opener, trying to show their hometown team, their hometown school, some support as they take on the reigning Big West champs in the UC Davis Aggies. And UC Davis right now given all of Coach Pope's team everything they can handle.
Yeah, and it's really been the activity of Monecki, the reigning Big West Player of the Year, and his supporting cast down low with A.J. John, and then also, mixed in there with Delvion Jackson. They're just that off-size big guy. They're not your traditional, 6'9", 10, or 11 big who's just going to play strictly out of the post. As T.J. Shorts knocks down his first free throw. It's really been a tough matchup for Isaac Nelson and A.K. Manyang, who have to guard the dribble a little bit against these smaller bigs, and they've been in trouble. T.J. Shorts knocks down his second free throw here, and again, as he gets his game going, he's tough to defend, his ability to get to the rim, and is an excellent free throw shooter.
That pass was tipped. UVU trying to finish off this half with the head of steam going into the locker room. That ball is tipped out of play. Kenneth Aubie is very frustrated, visibly frustrated, still talking at the referee as well as Coach Pope.
And again, it's not until the last 2 minutes, I believe, in the second half when those types of plays are reviewable. And so it's something he's got to accept that the ref maybe have missed and get back and try to get this one back.
A.J. John. Randolph comes up with the rebound. You're going to start to see a lot more emotion from both the players and the coaching staff as this game progresses, because they know how close they are to having the team that they want and playing at the caliber that they want. And they know that games like this, every little mistake matters.
Exactly, and that's actually an excellent point, as this game has been a low possession game, as this one gets stripped from Isaac and they go the other way, and Shorts again showing his 6'2"-esque ability in transition around the rim. But as you mentioned, it's going to be a game that whichever team makes the fewest errors will come out as the victor, because again, we're seeing all 30 seconds of the shot clock being used, and when you only have a few possessions, you have to take advantage of all of them.
Isaac Nielsen trying to find things offensively. Passes this one off, and Jake Toulson a little too hot to handle.
And he's just trying to do too much on his own. The past 2 possessions, he tried to probably feel like he needed to make up for the possession before, and so he kept it. Just swing that one back out, repost, try to get better positioning, and Brandon Randolph and Connor Toulson out there, they pass the ball into the post so willingly that he knows he's going to be able to get it back.
UC Davis right now with the biggest lead of the game, up by 4. About $1:35 less to play in this first half. Schneider trying to add. Blocked away by Connor Toulson. Coach Pope running with his team to the half-court marker, trying to get some offense going. Kenneth Aubie splits the defense and draws the foul.
As you can see, off of that block shot from Connor Toulson, Brandon passes the ball so well in transition, and Kenneth just trying to create something through that gap there to the rim, and was able to get contact, and knowing that it's double bonus, putting pressure on UC Davis, and now he's going to get 2 free throws out of it.
Last year was a struggling point for the Utah Valley at the free throw line, but this year they hunkered down in that offseason and trying to make that one of their strengths. And in a game like this, free throws as well as those mistakes are very much what both coaching staff are on top of.
Yeah, exactly. And even though they're in, bonus situations, there haven't been a whole lot of free throws or real easy baskets given to either team. So whenever you can get an easy basket like a free throw, you definitely need to take advantage of it.
Lots of motion up top for UC Davis. Gives way to a wide open layup by Schneider, who misses uncharacteristically around the rim. Coach Pope again, less than a minute left to go, urging his players to pick up this offense, pick up this pace. As Jake Toulson comes off the screen, now drives to the rack, uses that strength. Jonas Tavnainen can't come up with it. Now Schneider anticipates the contact, no contact. Utah Valley tried
to anticipate the contact too early and ended up missing the shot before he even took it.
Utah Valley with an opportunity to tie or take the lead heading into halftime. And how vital is this possession? Brandon Randolph surveys the defense. Connor Toulson with the quick trigger. Can't come up with it. Now UC Davis can extend their lead and quiet the crowd before the buzzer. Shorts with the lane. Up and under.
What a move by him, and the finish with his left hand is Brandon a little long on his attempt to beat the buzzer.
Utah Valley trails by 4 at the half. Your halftime score from the UCCU Center, 33 for the Wolverines, 37 for the Aggies. We're going to take a quick look at some of that first half highlights. Utah Valley got out of the gates very quickly, but then kind of simmered out after that. Utah Valley got started quick by Connor Toulson, 3. Another block from Schneider. Jake Toulson using that prowess to draw the foul. A.K. Mannion, again, losing him with that foul trouble early on is what you saw take a huge effect into Utah Valley's offense in that latter part of the first half.
Yeah, just his presence defensively, as we saw from that last clip. He's so active with getting around and making it difficult for anyone to score around the rim. It was nice to see Kenneth Aggie get going, and he got going attacking the rim. And then Monecki was just so much, as we see, they didn't get an offensive foul call there, but it was so much for these Wolverines to handle, and showed why he was, or maybe, the Big West Player of the Year.
Utah Valley finished the half with no field goals in their last 3.5 minutes. Brandon Randolph still trying to find that offensive stroke. We saw with the highlights here, he had a key three-pointer, but ever since then it's been very quiet. And it will be interesting to see how UC Davis responds and how Utah Valley responds coming out of the gates in this second half. We're going to take a quick break right here. We'll be right back.
Our idea is, to have an interactive art experience, and as you look at it and say, why can't I change the world as well? Why can't I do that? And that's what we are hoping.
We've created mind maps, just written down everything, kind of separated it into different eras, different timelines.
So I get a sketch and convert it into the Photoshop version by taking photos of different images, meshing together all kinds of different things into one window, a panel.
Once we have that design the way that we like it, we go through with Illustrator and create lead lines and piece out the glass that we'd like to, and take them into the painting room where all of our artists, we can sit down and paint the image that needs to go in those pieces. We have light tables that we can see the window without putting it together. We'll go through and tweak that, and then we just build it and put the lead around each piece and put it together.
As Tom and Cameron and the other artists at Holdman Studios were working on these windows, they would give us a concept art drawing, and they would then get feedback from the scholars on the team about things that might be missing, things that needed to be changed, were they inaccurate, and so we would give them feedback on developing the concept of each window.
There's a tremendous richness to all of the panels that Tom has developed. One that I feel a particular affection for is the panel that covers the late 1700s. Of course, central to the frame then is the signing of the Declaration of Independence. There's a famous moment at the end of the Constitutional Convention where Ben Franklin looks up and they've got the draft of the document there that they're ready to ratify, and George Washington, who'd been stoically presiding over the proceedings, was sitting on a chair that had a sun on the top arc of the chair. And Ben Franklin famously said, "I've been watching the back of that chair this whole proceedings, and I've wondered, is that a setting sun or a rising sun?" And today, with the work that we have produced, and as I look to the future, I'm absolutely convinced that the symbol is that of a rising sun. So I told that story to Tom. He loved the story, and he said, you know, we've got this famous image of Ben Franklin sitting at the drafting table of the Declaration of Independence. Well, that's not exactly where the chair was, but he's worked the chair in. It's got the rising symbol sun in it. It's not pure history, it's artistic, creative history, but it's got the details that I think will interest students. But it goes well beyond the founding fathers. So we have an image of the 4th emperor of the Qing dynasty, Kangxi. We have a Japanese incense burner from the Edo period. There's an image of Mary Wollstonecraft, a famed Enlightenment feminist figure and philosopher. There's something there to engage almost every mind and subject of interest. Roots of Knowledge is nothing less than an attempt to highlight the most important advances in human understanding from all over the world. Little wonder then that we started getting international attention with invitations to pack up and ship some of the windows to places like New York, Oxford, and London.
The General Society was founded in 1785 by the skilled craftsmen of New York City, artisans who represented 22 different trades. The Society is also home to our Locke Museum, which is currently housing the exquisite stained glass exhibit, Roots of Knowledge. We hosted over 400 people who came to see the exhibit here in New York City. And I enjoyed standing by to hear people's reactions. Of course, very discerning New Yorkers that would approach it kind of curiously, you know, but by the end of it, people were turning to each other. You know, we're going to have to buy plane tickets to Utah Valley now to see the rest of this exhibit.
Visitors have just been astonished. They literally stop in their tracks, and then immediately they're drawn in to the details. All of us, as Tom Holdman says, speak different languages, but there really is a universal language in art.
Welcome to Christ Church, established in 1546. We have the opportunity here to see for one day between New York City and London these panels of stained glass.
Well, I think it's a phenomenal project. Clearly there's an enormous amount of work and a lot of thought gone into it. I think it's truly inspirational.
The wealth of detail which you can see is just amazing. If you look in every corner of the image, you can find extraordinary scenes, people, things going on. You've no idea what it is, and you just want to go and look closely to find out what on earth it is.
It's comparable to the great schemes of medieval glass in the great cathedrals. And as I said to Tom earlier, when he says, oh, it took 12 long years. Well, in the Middle Ages, it would take somewhere between 25 and 50 years. So I think he did really well.
It's one of those things I think you'll have to come back and look at several times, if not, you know, continually, really, to fully appreciate it. It's too much of a bite in one go, I think, to take in.
We have tonight a beautiful, very special array of art here inside the hall. We are extremely honoured tonight that the Holdman Studios from the US have brought an example of their Roots of Knowledge. It's a major stained glass piece of work destined for the Utah Valley University Library, and it's extraordinary imaginary images to depict humanity's contributions to the pursuit of knowledge throughout recorded history.
It's really exciting because it combines really traditional techniques that have been practiced since the medieval period, painting on coloured glass and leaded together, with also new materials, and I've noticed various parts in the window which kind of hark back to the American opalescent glass that people like Tiffany made famous in the 19th century and still very popular in America and across the world today. My specialism is particularly in stained glass of the 19th century, and I think that's partly why I responded so well to this project, because the ambition is certainly on a scale that hasn't been tackled really, I think, since that period, if I can say that, and hopefully haven't offended all contemporary artists.
We have a number of renowned stained glass artists from the UK here at the art fair, and it's been wonderful to see them over the past few days coming in here and actually looking at the work of a fellow stained glass artist. And it's a great homage to Holdman Studios that stained glass artists will peer review the work and consider its beauty.
I would say this is the biggest project which is contemporary I have experienced through my naked eyes. So I think this is a historical project.
The City of London is 2,000 years old. I don't think it's seen anything like this before. So it's hugely exciting. And the university, I know, will cherish it, love it, and of course it will bring it right back to its original roots here. So it's a right hands across the seas exercise, this. And my goodness, it's a thing of beauty. And a thing of beauty is going to be cherished forever.
What thrills me most about these windows is that not only are they a brilliant manifestation of engaged learning, they are a powerful reflection of all of UVU's core themes. As one Oxford scholar put it when he saw several of the windows which had been on display at a public event at Christ Church College, "This is brilliant. Students will stand there staring at these windows. It will get them excited, and then they will turn around 180 degrees and march right up into the library to start learning more." We believe this will happen, and we believe it will happen for students of all ages. The Roots of Knowledge windows are only sitting here behind these curtains today because a number of remarkable individuals recognized the beauty, the grandeur, and the potential of this project, and then they did something about it. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a note of thanks to so much support from so many outstanding individuals today. Okay. The audience want to help us with a countdown? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Center, the home of Utah Valley University, where right now the hometown Utah Valley Wolverines are trailing at the half by 4 to the visiting UC Davis Aggies. UC Davis, again, the reigning Big West champs, coming in and flexing their muscles in that first half. Really, there are a couple people that stood out. I mean, the whole team came off the bench and did well, but everything so far is going through Chima Moneki.
Right, which doesn't surprise us too much. Player of the year again, reigning player of the year from the Big West Conference, and he's been able to show he can do a little bit of everything. There's been times when he'll get the rebound and he'll be the point guard, bring it up full court. There'll be times he'll get tight, kind of mid-post catches and be able to face up a lot bigger centers in Mannyang and also Isaac Nilsson, and it's been a challenge for them to guard the dribble, and Moneki again showing us why he is the Big West Player of the Year. But it's been a battle on both ends. It's been a low possession ball game, but every basket, so it seems, has been worked for. It's been out of their offense. It's been after 3 or 4 rotations of the ball, and it'll be interesting to see if that type of kind of hard, grinded out basketball continues in the second half.
Utah Valley not used to averaging Well, not used to this slowed down pace, if you will. UC Davis is really forcing him. You saw a handful of times in that first half forcing him to use every second of that shot clock. And right now the leading scorer for Utah Valley and the leading scorer for the whole game, in all honesty, for both teams is Kenneth Ogby. Kenneth Ogby got started early off of a three-pointer, and after that probably had 4 straight trips through the lane for easy layups. But after that, you really struggle to find the production from Utah Valley to support him. You got Connor Toulson, who has 6, and Brandon Randolph and Ben Naquasa with 5. But Akolda Manning only has 2 points. Isaac Nielsen has 0. And Isaac Nielsen had 3 different opportunities to score points at point-blank range. And going forward in the future of this game and the rest of the season, he's got to be able to fine-tune that.
Yeah, and those are baskets, especially in these types of ball games, that really can just deflate you as a team. They're right there, they're point-blank. But again, it's been because of, as you mentioned, flex your muscles to start out this second half, and it's because of the body that keeps being pushed on him from Good and also from Monecki that makes it pretty challenging to make those tight baskets.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. The second half comes up right after this on UVU TV.
Davis players got a little bit mixed up in the screening action down low, and Man Yang just poked free and able to finish the and one. And again, he actually has a terrific free throw stroke. Struggled the first couple games of the season, but got it back at Idaho State, and you see him make that one there.
Monecki dishes it out to Schneider, who was deadly in the first half from distance. Gobbled up by Brandon Randolph in transition. Randolph going right at him. Can't get it to fall. And that will be tipped up. Referees signal UC Davis ball.
Good job, good job, good job.
But gotta like that hustle from Brandon Randolph.
The start out of the gate, I'm sure Coach Pope was looking for, get Man Yang going, and then also to get a steal, and could have been a layup in transition. Just a tough break there for Brandon.
Shorts with the spot up triple from the outside. TJ Shorts, clutch.
And if he starts hitting those with his ability to attack the rim and get to the free throw line, it makes him very difficult to guard.
Again, 5'9" playing at 6'2". Jake Toulson wants him one, and he gets 3.
Jake Toulson with 3.
I was a little surprised how far they were playing off of Jake on that possession. I mean, you know, Jake from the logo has range to hit from anywhere on the court.
Jake Toulson, one of those guys that feeds off of the crowd energy. The bigger the hype, the better he plays, he says. Monecki with the kick out, Shorts, pump fake, drive, and another finish.
Again, as we mentioned, that 3-point shot that he made, you know, drew Brandon out there to respect him as Brandon attacks him on the other end. Just again, another layup that's right there, just can't get it to fall.
Schneider tipped away by Akolda Manning. An audible Ric Flair woo from
exactly
from Coach Pope.
As much as he wants him to be active and get his hands on the basketball there against those post plays, he'd rather have him on the court than pick up that 3rd foul. So definitely a sigh of relief there from everyone.
Kenneth Ogby checks out. Jonas Tavanainen checks in for Utah Valley. Quick inlet pass. Rims out for good. And a little slower pace for Utah Valley. Trying to set up a play. Brandon Randolph still looking for that offensive spark. He's had a couple early on in this second half, rim in and out. Toulson double teamed in the corner.
In these possessions, as we see late clock situation here, get a little stagnant when the ball doesn't move as well.
Nice split defense kick out, Jonas Tavanainen. Akolda Manning. Emphasis on the man with that finish.
And Monecki looking for some type of over-the-back call. It's tough to call over the back on just height. Not a whole lot of contact there. Manning just putting a 7'3" wingspan up and let that do the work for him.
Utah Valley still trails by 1. UC Davis broke free to get that lead with about 3 minutes to go at the end of the first half. Jonas Tavanainen says, no thank you. Opportunity for Utah Valley to reclaim the lead. Inlet pass to Cole Mannion, gets the foul, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Excellent find by Brandon coming off of that ball screen as we see Mannion slip after setting the screen. Brandon not giving up on him, waiting for the guys to clear on the help side, and Mannion just get tagged on the arm there, not able to finish the play.
Colton Mannion, one of those players that all the fans and the coaching staff, for that matter, has been very excited about waiting to finally see him play.
Right, rightfully so, after having to sit out last year, and as you mentioned, we heard so much about him, and after these first 3 games, he's lived up to everything they've talked about.
And like you said, since Idaho State, finding that free throw stroke has been vital for Utah Valley. Shorts fouled on his way up. That one going to go against Kenneth Ogby.
Yeah, that time both Jonas and Mannion were too high initially. As you can see, the double high ball pick, and both guys have their heels on that free throw line, and Shorts, being a very savvy, smart point guard, saw that and just blew by him to the rim.
TJ Shorts, pride of Tustin, California, where we went to Saddleback College, in the heart of Orange County in Southern California, sinks both of those free throws. That puts his point total to 15. He has exploded in the second half. Now he is the leading scorer. Kenneth Ogby drives the foul on Yebalu, and Kenneth Ogby will go to the line.
That was a nice post feed there by Connor to recognize that Kenneth Ogby obviously has the length and size advantage against the smaller Onyebalu. And Onyebalu, as the official indicated, walked underneath Kenneth as he went up for his shot. And Kenneth is an excellent free throw shooter. Hopefully this will get him going from the field.
Kenneth Ogby sinks that first free throw. Ogby right now shooting 67% on the season from the free throw line.
Low attempts, low attempts.
Low
attempts. That's why the low percentages. He gets the second one to fall, and now that jumps about 80% now after those two.
Shooter on the defense of another shooter. UC Davis, Monecki being guarded by Tavanainen. Tavanainen going to get called for the foul.
Monecki, who, again, as we see from the replay here, kind of stumbled at first, but just attack. He's always on the attack mode, always going to keep you on your heels, and that time I think they got Ben Naquasa reaching in on that from the backside, as the bench from the Wolverines can't believe the foul call, because again, it was such a late clock situation. You want to just keep playing solid defense, and now not only do you get the foul call, but additional 20 seconds get put on the clock.
Shorts. Monecki for triple. Misses that connection. Here comes Brandon Randolph. Utah Valley clinging to that 1-point lead. UC Davis led as much as 6. Naquasa in trouble in the corner. Gives way to Colton Mannion, who gets fouled. Can't find the bottom of the rim. Still working on it. Mannion playing like an animal right now. And that's going to take us to commercial break. Utah Valley, Colton Mannion saying, give me all 3 of these, as he'll finish the 3-point opportunity at the line when we come back.
field,
in the pool,
on the court.
We wear our game faces under the lights.
But sometimes our toughest opponents aren't wearing a uniform.
Instead, we confront them internally.
Mental illness affects 1 in 4 adults in the United States.
And suicide is the second leading cause of death among college students.
If you or someone you know is fighting a silent battle,
Please speak up and ask for help.
You are not alone.
You are watching UVU TV.
Coach Pope encouraging his squad to continue that pressure as they regain the lead. Now Utah Valley up by 3, 47-44, with about 60 minutes to go in this ball game. Brandon Crow alongside Holden Hunsaker. Thank you for joining us here on UVU TV Saturday Matinee Special between the visiting UC Davis Aggies from Big West territory. Those of you in Big West territory tuning in to watch this game, we welcome you to the broadcast. Utah Valley hanging tough. UC Davis, specifically in this second half, has exploded. The offense coming from TJ Shorts, but right now, no buckets over the past 3 minutes for the Aggies.
Yeah, it's been, really shot selection this second half for the Wolverines, and they're now shooting 50% from the floor, 4 of 8 in total, 1 of 2 from the three-point line, and a perfect now 6 of 6 from the free throw line, something they weren't able to do in the first half. And as we've seen now, as they jump on UC Davis with a 4-point lead, it's been that 8-point swing as going into the half. They're down by 4.
Monarchy gets fouled by Tavanainen.
You can kind of see after that foul call, Monecki a little bit frustrated with the physical play of the Wolverines. So though, Tavanainen picks up that foul call, not necessarily a bad thing for Monecki to feel Tavanainen's presence there in that play.
Monecki with the drive goes right at Mannion. Ball flies in the air, and here comes Utah Valley. Bendequasa thought about it. Comes off the screen. Tavanainen in low to Mannion. Mannion with a touch for the big fella.
Yeah, with strength. I thought he got hit even on the backside as he went up for that finish.
Schneider wide open on the other end. Rattles in and out. And Mannion's going to get called for his 3rd foul.
Yeah, that'll be, again, a big call there against the Wolverines, especially when Mannion is playing so well. It would look like he was just going for the ball. Wasn't anything deliberate. A little contact there to his head as Mannion pick up foul number 3, and we'll see Isaac Nilsson and Jake Toulson check back into the game.
UC Davis, on the other hand, they'll take the opportunity for a fresh inbound underneath their own hoop.
And this was kind of the lineup in that first half where things started going right for UC Davis. Again, Mannion's presence on both ends of the court is so dominant that maybe they can take advantage of the opportunity, as you said.
Randolph tips this one away. A reset from the Aggies. Onyebalu with the drive in the dish. Down low, Isaac Nielsen looking for his first bucket. Bendequasa.
Yeah, Jake hesitant on that 3. Just checked into the ball game, so not quite comfortable as, again, want to get a feel for the ball a few times before you just take it up, because I think we're going to get a travel here as Bendequasa just kind of got himself into a bad way on the block. And possibly Isaac, seeing that drive coming, should have filled out on the baseline side to give Ben a little area to make his drive, but you can definitely feel the momentum of the game now shifting to the Wolverines as UC Davis really struggling to get anything going offensively.
Good ball movement by the Aggies around the perimeter. Shorts, blazing speed, steps just barely out of bounds as he created a lane for himself.
Basketball.
There's so many offensive plays now where the idea is to drive baseline and send guys corner and send guys high. to try to get, open looks on the three-point line. But that time, Shorts obviously stepping out of bounds, and it's a tough play that I was never athletic enough to make, flying out of bounds and make a pass to the corner or the top. So respect it, but it's a high-risk play.
Utah Valley up by 6. Randolph to Naquassa. Single digits on the shot clock. Kick out for Kenneth Ogby in the corner.
Big shot by Kenneth Ogby, who
gets a technical for turning around and looking at the crowd, getting energized. We'll take another look at it right here. Beautiful spot-up jumper. And this is where the technical foul came, was right here as he looked to his bench.
And I don't know, it's just so uncharacteristic to see Kenneth Ogby, say anything that would cause a technical foul to the opposing player, but obviously in the heat of the competition, it's been a very physical ball game, and so to hit such a big go-ahead bucket to put these guys up 9, it's tough not to feel good about yourself and slip and say something maybe you shouldn't, especially when the official is standing right next to you. And Coach Pope in front of us here getting an explanation, and
there was a conversation going on. Kenneth Ogby was saying something to one of his teammates, Jake Toulson, on the bench, and it was in the vicinity of the referee, and that's where the foul was called, because the referee thought it was being directed towards him. So that's what the conversation's been going on. But something like this, again, it's kind of for lack of a better word, it's foolish in this situation.
Right.
When you have the offensive momentum, you have the defensive momentum, and then you give them, like you said, that opportunity to find some rhythm, to see the ball go in the back of the net.
Exactly right, especially when it's been, over 3 minutes now. I believe 5 minutes from UC Davis's last field goal, which I believe came from Shorts when he hit an open jumper. And it really just kind of gave a deflating feel to the arena and kind of momentum of the team. But again, it's tough not to get into the moment after nailing a big shot to kind of give a glance to the defender as we get a three-point shot in the corner. Obviously drawn up there when you had the dead ball, time to set up a go-to play, and now all of a sudden a 9-point game is now cut down to 5 just like that.
Joe Mooney gets in on the mix for UC Davis, but Connor Toulson answers right back on the other end.
Big shot by Connor. A nice find by Isaac Nelson to see Connor in the corner has been shooting well this entire ball game.
Shorts splits the defense on Yebalu with the drive. Looking for some help, he gets the call. Count it. On Yebalu, draws the foul, will go to the line to finish the three-point play.
Tough shot by Yebalu here. As you can see, Connor initially jumped on that first kind of jump stop, and that bringing his body and momentum forward, and Yebalu got his foul here, and now Yebalu has a chance to go up and make this a 5-point ball game once again and kind of neutralize that three-point shot by Connor the possession before. A little confusion around this, trying to get foul situation figured out, but I think they are correct with Manniang with 3, but we'll get an update soon on any foul trouble situations. And again, that technical foul call, see if they can come back from it and not really make it a turning point in the second half.
Isaac Nielsen now with Brandon Randolph, double teamed. Isaac Nielsen, great inlet pass. Kicks it back out, Connor Toulson now. With the drive, single digits on the shot clock. Randolph has to make a decision soon. Offensive foul goes against Brandon Randolph.
Yeah, easy foul call there. Brandon just trying to create something in that late clock situation. I thought initially when Isaac Nielsen received that pass off the slip, should have gone up with it. And unfortunately led to a late clock situation, an offensive call for Brandon.
Utah Valley only up by 5. Second half continues after this.
You're watching UVU TV.
Utah Valley clinging to that 5-point lead. It was 9. A couple of fouls being called against Utah Valley with a technical on Kenneth Aggies. Sent UC Davis to the line. Some more confusion on the Utah Valley side as they continue to figure out exactly who has what fouls. And that goes into their game plan, their strategy for the continuation of this half, so you can understand the frustration from the coach's side. But on the other hand, if you're Coach Jim Less, you couldn't be happier because all this confusion gives way to your squad being able to come right back in it, which they've been able to crawl right back into this game with.
Right, exactly right. And it wasn't until that technical foul, it really was a 5.5 minutes, kind of lull that their team went on a 0 field goals made lapse, and they had that time to drop a play, got the 3-point shot in the corner, and now they have a little bit of wind in their sails that could ultimately, turn into a little bit of a run here where their backs were on the rope. The Wolverines kind of in a position to run away with it. And now we're going to get a chance to see this lead dwindle down to 3 or 4 points here, depending on this possession.
Right now, Akolda Manning back on the floor for Utah Valley. They're going with their twin tower set with Isaac Nielsen and Akolda Manning in the post, playing with 3 fouls. We'll see how that plays out, continuing in the rest of the game. Shorts. Drives in among the trees, gets caught up. Brandon Randolph all over the ball, loose ball, out of bounds. Utah Valley basketball.
Excellent defensive possession as Isaac and Manning both active down low, really clogging up the middle, didn't let Shorts to have any kind of room for any passing or driving lanes, and a big turnover coming out of that timeout.
Utah Valley trying to continue to put their pedal to the floor. Opportunity gives way to Akolda Manning going back to the free throw line where he has been very successful this evening.
Yeah, A.J. Jones just got caught in front of Manning on that lob pass, and the right call by the official, and an excellent read by Connor Toulson just to throw it up. It's something I see them practice countless times, and they're going to call this one on the floor. I thought it was an alley-oop towards the rim, and I thought he was going up for a shot, but they're going to keep this one on the floor here.
And that will be his 4th, so he will sit for a while unless Coach Les gets very desperate. Nice pass to Toulson, now to Manning. Got to make something happen with 5 on the shot clock. Can't get it to fall. UC Davis on the attack. And that's going to be a foul against Akolda Manning.
That'll be AK's 4th. Again, really a touchy foul call for him to pick up his 4th, something I don't agree with the officials to, kind of understand the situation of the game, but a tough break for the Wolverines with 11 minutes left. And really no life by UC Davis as they get that one off as, TJ Shorts on the bench. He's been the only one able to create anything offensively as Jake Toulson will get called for an offensive foul call here. The right idea, but it just took too long and just drew too much attention to himself.
This is quickly turning into a frenzy of whistles and a flurry of fouls, frustrating both squads. Utah Valley now in a drought the last 2 minutes without a field goal.
As we mentioned before, kind of the foul situation, now we're getting an update that Kenneth Aggies, who after that technical foul, we thought had 3, but official word coming over the scores table is he does have 2 fouls. We're going to get a 3-point shot thrown in by Mooney, who outside of him and Shorts have been the only ones to get anything going in the second half. And Isaac Wilson gets a putback. Tough drive from Kenneth Aggies.
That putback by Isaac Nielsen snaps that 2 minutes and 30-second stretch of no baskets for Utah Valley. Mooney, this second half takeaway, another O, turning into money for UC Davis. They're going to call a foul on Jonas Tavanainen for a push in the back, trying to create some space on that rebound.
That'll be Tavanainen's fourth there as well. So now Manier, Tavanainen, and on the other side of the ball, A.J. John, all with 4 fouls.
With all this going on, you might have to think that in case anything does happen, it would be very interesting to see if Coach Pope goes to that bench. True freshman Rich Harward, he is available, and he is another big force. He's not as thick as Okolda Manning or Isaac Nielsen, but he is another 7-footer.
Right, exactly. And you know, sometimes these games with foul situation, you do, as you mentioned, need another body to throw out there. And you know what an opportunity it would be for Richard to get into a tight, played, very physical ball game. Is Monecki gets that one to fall, and who knows if this breaks the lid off of the rim for Monecki, as this half, I believe that was his first basket. It had 10 in the first, and again, you saw his only basket or only free throw here of the second half.
Monecki sinks both, brings the Aggies within 2. Again, the Utah Valley lead was 9. UC Davis has been reeling in the Wolverines ever since. Coach Pope would love to get this guy with the ball right here, clicking on offense. Brandon Randolph right now, 5 points, 2 of 8 from the field, 1 of 2 from the 3.
Yeah, in that last possession, you see how aggressive UC Davis is of guarding those ball screens. They not only send the guard over the top guarding it, but then they show so hard with, you know, their 4 or 5, the big men on the ball screens.
Nice pass to Isaac Nielsen. Isaac Nielsen can't find the bottom of the net on that one. UC Davis with an opportunity to tie or reclaim the lead that they had towards the end of that first half. Mooney passes up to look from 3, drives with the left-handed floater, and we're all tied up.
Mooney with 8 points this half has really been the spark that UC Davis has been desperate of, as Jake almost loses it there on his drive.
Kenneth Aggies for 3, rims in and out.
You know, a shot that Kenneth is known to be able to make is on those handoffs. Anytime anyone goes underneath, it leaves a wide open 3-point shot, and Kenneth just barely missed that one.
Mooney being guarded by Nakwasa, creates some space off the fake. Can't find the bottom of the net.
Heat check on that one. After he's been feeling good, that was a little bit of a forced shot there by Mooney, and hopefully an opportunity for the Wolverines on the other end.
If you're feeling it, why not, right?
That's right.
Randolph to Nakwasa. Isaac Nielsen trying to post up on good. Create some space. Toulson, 5 on the clock, drives. The right-handed floater, excuse me. Jake Toulson, good body control in the air.
Excellent extension after initial contact there around the free throw line, and able to switch hands, as you had mentioned, kind of left to right there.
Cross-court pass. Hennings with the behind the back, no look. And a travel call against good. And that'll take us to a break. Utah Valley on top by 2, 7:44 to go in the game. Don't go anywhere, folks. Grab your popcorn. Come right back.
It doesn't matter if you save money in 15 minutes It doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance that you do. What matters right now is the quality of your independent insurance agent.
Glad you're okay, Sarah. We'll take care of everything.
And the company that stands behind them.
Thanks so much for your help.
No problem.
Auto Owners Insurance.
Neil Dastrup Insurance, your local independent auto owners insurance agency, supports UVU athletics.
You're watching UVU TV.
Assistant coach Eric Daniels trying to fire up the Utah Valley Wolverines as they are at home. Right now they are up by 2 against the Aggies from UC Davis. Coming in and putting up a heck of a fight with these Wolverines and vice versa. Right now your leading scorers. Shorts for the Aggies with 16, Kenneth Agby with 16, Akolda Manyang with 14 and 4 fouls. Right now, the only person in major foul trouble for UC Davis going forward is A.J. John. But other than that, the closest person that they got, all their key players have 1 or 2 fouls, which is huge for the Aggies with the rest of the time left on the clock.
Yeah, and you see 8 minutes left in this half, and you know the score is only 60-58, not kind of your traditional UVU score at this point. But it hasn't been for lack of shooting. This second half, the Wolverines have shot 53% from the field, 60% from the three-point line, and 6 of 6. As we're going to get now a technical foul call against number 4 for taunting Ben Nakwasa as he was coming across. Again, the officials trying to get ahead of this one early as they know it's going to be a tough physical finish to this game and want to kind of cut out any chippiness amongst the players.
I feel like there's a lot of confusion between both players right now, both coaching staffs, and it's very interesting so far how this has played out as far as the whistles have been. But like you said, officials trying to make a statement, and they've been consistent.
Yeah, exactly right. And the same thing that Kenneth did, he stared him down, said something, and that's what happened right there is number 4, Ariel Hennings for UC Davis, just, again, letting kind of the heat in the moment. It's a close game. You got to kind of let your emotions ride and, you know, stay consistent for your team, because now a 2-point game can jump, has jumped to 4, could jump to 6 in a blink of an eye, and with how limited possessions both teams are getting, you know, 6 in this game feels like 12.
Utah Valley moving that ball around the perimeter. Ben Nakwasa, Jake Toulson, Kenneth Ogby with the drive, using that body, that finesse, that finish, gets his own tipping. Kenneth Ogby now the leading scorer in the ball game, 18 points.
Yeah, Delvion Jackson took that initial hit from Kenneth Ogby, and no one came over to help out to rebound. And Kenneth Ogby able to put that one right back in.
Schneider been awfully quiet so far in this second half. Same with Monecki. Shorts. Ben Nakwasa gets the foul called against Monecki.
Yeah, that call clear from the baseline official. Ben Nakwasa doing a great job of selling that one there. And again, as we mentioned, the emphasis on screens, all officials kind of have high attention, high alert to those. And a 6-point lead now, and again, momentum now shifting to the Wolverines.
If you're Jim Less's squad and UC Davis trying to get a stop or a turnover here. But on the flip side, Utah Valley trying to continue to pour it on. Connor Toulson with the quick trigger. Rebounded by Jake Toulson.
And you can just see from Monecki's body language on that as Jake wiggling here against him in the post. He just seems so out of it this half. A big-time 3 to extend this lead now to 9. With only 6 minutes left, it'll be a tough comeback for UC Davis.
Shorts. Monecki can't get it to fall. Opportunity for Utah Valley to make the biggest lead of the game. A bucket here would send this into a frenzy.
Toolson from the corner. UVU trying to get a timeout to let this run kind of sink in, and now Monecki on the other end with a layup here. What a finish by him, and a timeout on the flip side of it.
Connor Toolson growing out his beard, showing off his muscles, back-to-back trays, 6 straight points, and a 10-point lead for Utah Valley, the largest of the game. Utah Valley so far has had their spurts, but this 10-point lead has been the biggest that they've had in this ball game. And there's still a lot of basketball to be played. 6 minutes left. Anything can happen, but right now this is the most comfortable Utah Valley has felt in this whole exhibition.
Right, no, exactly. And this has all come with Man Yang on the bench, something where UC Davis took advantage of in that first half. They missed, UVU missed Man Yang's offensive and defensive presence there, just his physical play down low. And it's been, we saw back-to-back threes by Connor Toolson. We've seen great transition push by Kenneth Aggies and Brandon Randolph, and then it's been the little mistakes. We get the technical foul by UC Davis, and then a couple of turnovers has really been the difference in the second half. And with the limited possession counts, and as each team has used really the entire 30 seconds of the shot clock, 6 minutes will go by quick, and a 10-point hurdle is pretty tough to overcome in this game.
TJ Shorts and Chima Monecki, the 2 top scorers right now for UC Davis. Monecki with 14, TJ Shorts with 16. Joe Mooney slowly coming back into life, 8 points. And those are your leaders right now. Chima Monecki, however, with 3 fouls, along with Siler Schneider and TJ Shorts. Going down the stretch, will be very interesting to see how those 2 play defensively, not wanting to get into deeper foul trouble. Ben Nikwasa and company again trying to continue to pour it on. Up by 10, looking for more. Toolson with the drive. The tip right back to Nikwasa. Shorts read that one very easy. A turnover. Here come the Aggies. Monecki goes to work. Tipped out. Schneider planks off the rim. Connor Toolson with the rebound. That exchange took about a minute off the clock itself.
Exactly, and it's been, Schneider and Monecki not able to get anything going in the second half, and all the credit to the Wolverine defense and really the adjustment at halftime to really key in on those 2.
Connor Toolson with the foul. That will be Shorts' 4th.
Yeah, in those situations, so difficult not to get greedy and to play to the situation of the game, because you're so used to, in Shorts' situation, who has averaged above 2 steals per game, not to try to get your hand in there and poke away, but with 2 fouls is Connor Long on his first attempt. To get back to Shorts, tough to just let plays go.
I beg your pardon, it was announced that initially was TJ Shorts' 4th personal. That is only his 3rd personal.
Which is a break for UC Davis to see such a key point in their offense. And as we mentioned several times, it's only been him and Mooney in the second half that have been able to get anything going.
Schneider. The drive takes the contact off Isaac Nielsen. And they're going to call that foul against Schneider.
Yeah, it was either an offensive foul call or a travel. Either way, Schneider just going into nothing, and Isaac staying home. as they tried to kind of run a dribble and replace action out of the post with Monecki. And again, Isaac Nelson doing an excellent job of not buying into it.
Bodies hit the floor hard. Akolda Manning driving, loses the ball up in the air. No whistle is called. And here comes Shorts. Muggsy Bogues draws the foul. Brandon Randolph will be the culprit. Shorts, a perfect 5 of 5 from the field. 5 of 6 from the free throw line. And he'll have an opportunity to add 2 more. Misses the first.
And it really has been amazing to see his ability to get in and around the rim. Even that shot he threw up on this possession over Manning was incredible how he was able to get him up over his much longer outstretched hands of UVU.
Now UC Davis coming in with the full court press, trying to force a couple turnovers. And these last 4 minutes will be very much a chess match between head coaches Mark Pope and Jim Les.
Yeah, UC Davis now showing out of that press a 2-3 zone, not putting a ton of pressure to force the Wolverines into anything out of their offense. Excellent chase down here by the Wolverines. And again, as we mentioned, that was a full 30 seconds on that one. And the Wolverines will look to use the entire shot clock here this possession.
AK posting up on good down low. Poked away by Mooney. Smart heads up play. Here comes Monecki. Monecki with the layup. 2 points for UC Davis. 8-point lead now for Utah Valley.
This becomes kind of the keep away game as you're just trying to eat clock. The clock for the Wolverines is definitely their friend and don't need to do anything too quick. Just want to take easy buckets here as Jake.
He hurts you in the high post. They'll take you that easy bucket all day. Back to a 10-point lead now for Utah Valley. 3 minutes to go in regulation. Nice dish from Shorts to good, and a timeout by head coach Jim Les. And we'll take a timeout as well here on UVU TV. Again, Utah Valley on top, 73-65. Final 2 minutes and 55 seconds next, right here.
You're watching UVU TV.
You're watching UVU TV.
All right, the lights are out. The cheer squad is out on the court. Final 3 minutes here from the UCCU Center. And Utah Valley is on top, 73-65. Brandon Crow alongside Holton Hunsaker. Thank you for joining us here on UVU TV. It's been a back and forth game. UC Davis giving Utah Valley everything that they can handle. Right now, Utah Valley hanging tough with that lead. There's still a lot can happen in the time that's left.
Yeah, and it's been just a strong second half by the Wolverines. They've dominated every statistic. Again, we've mentioned how well they've shot the ball from the field, and the most impressive statistic that you mentioned early on in the game of, you know, the limited possessions and the way the game had being played was free throw shooting. The Wolverines 14 of 16 from the free throw line, which is good for 88%, something, again, they've improved so much from last year. And for these tight ball games, it really is what has given them, you know, the breathing room and comfort, especially going into the last 3 minutes here where a lot of fouls and, you know, the time and score game is going to be such a big factor.
And as you're talking about those free throws, 4 that stick out to me are Akolda Manning's perfect 4.
Right, what a weapon he will be with, because usually you see a big like that will just foul him, don't let him get the shot up. But if he's able to make free throws and you get the foul in the same situation, it's so challenging.
Kenneth Aggies has to put this one up. Kenneth Aggies with his hands and his head toward the heavens thanks the basketball gods to answer that prayer. Schneider tries to silence the crowd with a quick 2. A timeout called by Utah Valley will stay here. 67-76 is your lead for Utah Valley. Kenneth Aggies with that last tray to go in. 21 points, 7 of 11 from the field, 3 of 4 from distance, and a perfect 4 of 4 from the line. Not a bad stat line.
No, not at all. What a backbreaker that was for UC Davis. They played that entire 30-second defensive possession, forced them to a tough shot. To see that one go through the net is almost a dagger at this stage of the game. Depending on how the Wolverines handle this pressure, this one should turn into some free throw contest, which, as we mentioned before, the Wolverines have shot the ball so well from the free throw line. They haven't turned the ball over either. Wolverines only with 13 turnovers for the game, something that UC Davis does a good job of forcing their teams to, which I believe they average, nearly 16 forced turnovers a game. But we'll see how the Wolverines handle this pressure in the final 2 minutes.
Brendan Randolph being guarded by Schneider. Gets through that line quickly. Dishes. 78-67. Mannion, 16 points.
And a forced shot there by Monecki again, who hasn't been able to get anything going this half. Now the Wolverines will slow it up and just let the time be their friend as they enjoy this 11-point lead.
Randolph, very heavily guarded by Shorts, gets past. Another dish to Mannion. That one will go off of Good or Mooney. Either one, it's off of Finaki. The rim cam showing Akolda Mannion throwing it down. Akolda Mannion loses it down low, gives way to Schneider. A minute 15 left. Aggies trying to dial long distance connections. Inlet for Monecki, and he misses. Grabs his own rebound, kick out. Schneider. Monecki with the bucket. A timeout called. Everybody in the gym wants a foul call. Travel.
Yeah, Schneider on this attempt here, as you see Monecki going up from the play after the travel call. Again, Schneider went up to shoot his shot. It looked like both feet cleared the ground, but he tried to put it down. The official thought his feet stayed on the ground there, but a tough swing. But again, it's something that shouldn't matter, right? So they're focusing so much on that foul call. Hopefully the guys can refocus in. They've got a 9-point lead. Focusing on just work the clock, take care of the basketball. Layups aren't going to beat you at this point. It's a 3-point shot and turnovers. So hopefully the Wolverines can refocus in, move on from that last play, and take care of the game as they have in this entire second half.
Utah Valley trying to find their first win in their first home game attempt, trying to climb back to a 2-2 even scorecard on the season after dropping those first 2 to the toughest 24. UC Davis trying to remain unbeaten, looking for that 3rd victory on the season. Coach Pope rallying the troops. Final minute left. 78-69 from the UCCU Center. Brandon Crow alongside Holden Hunsaker. Again, thank you for joining us on UVU TV and online, GoUVU.com. Hail Mary touchdown pass to Brandon Randolph. And that should do it. Excellent play call out of that timeout as
touchdown pass by Jake Toulson as we get a scramble here in his last few possessions, and UC Davis calls off the dogs here as Brandon Randolph able to walk it up the court.
Utah Valley will escape, and this will go down again. UC Davis is a perennial powerhouse in the Big West. They again have an opportunity to win their conference, so this will look good for Utah Valley going forward if they're looking for postseason play. And it will improve Utah Valley's record to 2-2. After only being 33 points at halftime, Utah Valley rallies for 57. Final score from the UCCU Center, 80-71, Utah Valley on top. We'll take a quick break and be right back with some game recaps after this on UVU TV.
You're watching UVU TV.
Welcome back to the UCCU Center. Brandon Crow alongside Holton Hunsaker. It was a wild game, back and forth. Lots of punches being thrown between the two teams, but in the end, Utah Valley came out victorious.
Yeah, it was a battle the entire 40 minutes. The Wolverines doing a great job of just continuing to attack that entire second half. It was a combination between Kenneth Ogby, Brandon Randolph, and Jake Toulson, who were able to extend that lead, and then they never made too many mistakes to give UC Davis a chance to get back into it.
Take a look at the highlights. Shorts coming out, and he was really an offensive force for UC Davis in the beginning minutes of this second half. Utah Valley really struggled, but then Akolda Mannion, before he got into foul trouble, he proved to be the difference maker on offense for Utah Valley.
Yeah, you can see between him, Isaac Nelson, and Tavanine on that last play, they're just so active down low. And then Kenneth Ogby, what a game he had, 21 points, you know, shot over 70% from the field, and really buried UC Davis those late clock situations as we saw, and I'm sure we'll see a clip of that. Mooney really the only spark for UC Davis that second half is Monecki, and Shorts not getting anything able to go late into that game. And there's that big three-point shot by Kenneth Ogby and the dunk that really sealed everything with the game there, and terrific win for the Wolverines.
Again, a big night for Kenneth Ogby. The final stats, 7 of 11 from the field, 3 of 4 from distance, a perfect 4 for 4 from the free throw line, a total of 21 points. Hey, and not to add in there, 5 rebounds.
It's quite the stat line for Kenneth Ogby, and it was the energy that the team got from his shot making late. You know, he had that one little error with the technical foul call, just competitive, but he came back from it. He didn't let that take him out of the game. He came back, made big shots at the end, and really lifted his team to victory.
Again, Utah Valley, after falling 0-2 on the road at Kentucky, had to come back, and they win at Idaho State. They win at home in front of their hometown crowd of their students, their peers. So now they are 2-2, and they get set to have a quick turnaround back here on Monday night against Eastern Oregon.
Yeah, again, everyone's kind of heard the hype of this Wolverine team. They proved it again tonight, beating, you know, a team that competed and won a game in the NCAA tournament last year. And so no one's going to look, you know, beyond the Wolverines at this point. Everyone's going to be excited, and Eastern Oregon will be, you know, a fun game to come out to. The students came in today, were loud, were energetic, and it was a lot of fun to be here and be involved in the game.
Well, if this is a first glimpse at what we're going to see the rest of the season and you're at home, we thank you for watching, but please get your tickets and come down here and see it firsthand. It's going to be fun to see all season long. Again, your final score from the UCCU Center tonight, Utah Valley victorious over UC Davis, 80-71. For Holton Hunsaker, for Mandy, our producer, and all of our hardworking staff and crew behind the scenes, I'm Brandon Crow saying so long and good night from Orem, Utah.
This copyrighted telecast of the Western Athletic Conference may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the WAC Digital Network.